because I want to stand on something, but I don't know. I guess I got to go with the Mist. I feel like they're a more complete team.
I got the juice, I play for hours. Coldest thing running, unlimited power. Doing my thing.
This one was probably hard you kind of have to go back to all the rest of the games throughout the playoffs, and just this whole season is just kind of, there's this fog of the refs, the makeup zebras being all over the place and making horrible calls. Was it just in the championship? No. Was it just in the playoffs? No. Was it just in, the one-on-ones? No, it's the whole season. It's the whole season, and it's one of those things that need to be addressed. I think it's more of an issue than ending a championship game on free throws, which a lot of threads was upset with. But I mean, the rules are the rules, and I don't have the mind to figure that out without also maintaining that last fourth quarter, unless you just play 4 quarters versus trying to reach a score or something. But that's not really why I'm here to workshop a fix for that. What they need a fix for is to find better refs, because that was just ridiculous. Also, I think this season wore everybody out with Tiffany Hayes. With the issues as far as her being always on the floor, with her being at the scene of the crime when people ended up on the floor. She was going to be there. And then, her complaining and her sportsmanship. A lot of people are saying she's yanking her jersey off. She fouled out, so I mean, like, she wasn't going to go back in anyway. But she yanked her jersey off instead of, chilling and waiting until the game was over. And she's, ran out, left out the other time when she got fouled, which I get it. You got fouled, big dog. But, like, where you going? I don't know. It's just been an interesting season dealing with her. Like, I think the season 1 and her season with the Valkyrie were key to drawing me into her as a fan of hers, somewhat fan of hers. But this was a rough season for her, as far as I think people being fans of her. I think a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, I'm not watching tip basketball for a while now. Which, I mean, she's on the older side, so she won't be hooping in the league for much longer. But yeah, that would seem to be the more outstanding thing. But it seemed like Kelsey was going to take the game and run with it. She seemed like she was going to have her Marina moment. Seems like she was going to torch them just like she did yesterday. But the Mist said no. And I did say I didn't know quite who was going to win, but if I had to stand on something, I'm pretty sure I said the Mist. Because of the evenness of their whole team and how deep they can go. You hate to see Lee not get any play over the last, I don't know how many games, like 6 games or something like that. It's been a while. But the Mist have had the setup the whole year. I've said stuff about them constantly that they have. I was actually, so much so, I've done the Phantom a disservice, because the only thing I really talked about on the Phantom was like Leah Boston and KP. But when it came to the Mist, I was always kind of over the moon about the fact that they could get it done in such a professional, convincing way, where it's just they get it done. They got, if they didn't get it from Stewie, they got it from Alicia, and then you get it from Rike off the bench. And Lon took a little while to get started this season. She didn't get warm until the playoff times, really. I mean, kind of, sort of, but like, even then, she's always been that key when it came to defense and switches and stuff like that. And Veronica Burton's the defense, and getting her couple of points here or there. And so it was just a really, really complete team. So I mean, you can't take it away from them. Congrats to them. The Phantom almost got back into it, but I mean, I think that typically happens towards the end of the games, when it's like we're fighting towards a score. So like, we're going to get a good shot. If we miss, then we're going to let you score. kind of like it. There's not as like tough defense on the other team when they're far enough to not reach, but I mean, it ended in controversy kind of anyway, so it kind of changed it all together. But just all the games that I watched all the games except for 2, I think, and that's usually what it was. Is like people would speed up in that last quarter, especially when they were close, and not just finish the game out by making set smart plays every time down, every time down, every time down. The other thing would be is that, when they start trying to find their shots, the other team would score, and it'd just be like, okay, the other team would score, and it's like you give like a little pushback just so you can maybe make a miss and get the rebound. But like, yeah, I don't know. That'll be something to watch to see if teams continue doing that going forward as well, especially if we keep the commercial free, no time fourth quarter, and kind of go from there and see what we have with that. But yeah, I think teams need to figure that out going forward. But now it's done. Now Unrivaled is done. Everybody compared this to like summer camp. And, once summer camp's over, everybody splits and go their separate ways. But I'm not going my separate way. At least not, Threads, they can do whatever they're going to do. But I'm still here. Every time I get a box, I'm going to be doing unboxing videos. And then we have the World Cup qualifiers, I believe it is, coming up here in a week or so, because I think I'll have to check the schedules and stuff on that. But yeah, I'm going to try to catch as much of those as I can and come back to you guys with information and discuss and break down like we usually do with those. So again, we have basketball continuing to come, and then whenever we can figure out some of that upshot information too, for those who are interested, we'll be doing some of that stuff as well. And then we wait to see if the W strikes. But like I said, I don't talk about the W when it comes to the strikes and stuff like that. I understand all the information. I'm not going to regurgitate the same information over and over again like everybody else has. When we have a season, that's when I'll start up with the content with the W. But we got plenty to do in between that, and I hope you guys rock with me and continue staying with me through that time. And yeah, like, subscribe, follow and subscribe, follow or subscribe, whichever. Comment, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, peace.